Ah, hey there. Didn't see you there. While you're here though, should we talk about the new Everything Company frame? The new Everything Company frame. They've been around for what? Year and a half? Are they a rollerblading company? Yes, and other things. They've also got skim boards, and a few other things. Yeah, but they came out with their version of their flat frame. First one they came out with was a purple, and then they came out with a black one, and this is their latest one, coconut milk. Personally, I prefer oat milk. I've been intrigued about this frame for a while now, since they came out, but purple isn't really my color when it comes to skate gear, so I held out. But yeah, finally decided to take the plunge and get a bunch in, and also test it out myself. On their website, they say that these can hold 60mm wheels, but 58mm wheels are the preferred size. See the shape here, it's the groove is triangular, and then you've got these little bits that stick out here, the little nubby things that protect your wheels. To me, reminiscent of the freestyle frames you used to get, as well as I guess the Celtic South frame, and if you ever skated them, the K2 frame that came out with their K2 Unnatural and K2 Street. Yeah, so why was I intrigued? Well, wheel bite protection mainly, that's generally it, and who doesn't love new skate gear and geek out on the intricacies of them all. Got these in and been sick all week for the 4th time this winter, but after work on Saturday I had about an hour spare before I had to go meet up with my mum for dinner. So I thought I'd have a quick blat and a quick test. I went to my usual local skate park and obviously went to my usual ledge that I skate. I call it my ledge only because not many skateboarders really hit it. It's like one of those little spots. Some do now, so I get to wax that ledge up as much as I want and no one cares, skate park etiquette and all. But this time, because of this frame and its wheel bite protection, I did not wax up the ledge. I just went straight for it, just to really test out these frames. I concentrated more on those H-block grinds, so your Royales, your Unities, that kind of thing. Personally for me, when it comes to skating flat frames, it's all about the angle that you skate at. You got to be more precise, and if you don't, you do get wheel bite. That's why you usually really have to wax the shit out of a ledge, like wax that top up so your wheels slide. Yeah, grinds, I guess that I usually get wheel bite from is backside Royale. Funny enough, top side sole. It's not the sole foot, but the other front foot. I usually have to really grind through whenever I'm skating, as well as what is it? Negative mistrail. That one I always get wheel bite, especially with that back foot, that angled foot. It's just the angle that I'm on. So that trick I don't really do much of these days, as I generally have been skating the 50/50 Balance 2 frame. I love that frame, been skating it for a while now. Did my usual go-tos to really test out to see if I was going to get wheel bite. Now, there are some incidents where I did, but that's just poor, what do you call it? Positioning? yeah, it's just me being a shit skater. Like I said before, it's reminiscent of those old freestyle frames that you used to get with that triangular groove, but also I guess the Caltech Stealth frames where it had the wheel bite protection, as well as the old K2 frames that also were quite similar with that wheel bite protection. But it also reminds me of the Kaiser Fluid 5 frame. And I'll tell you why. First session, they felt good. They did feel really good. The wheel bite protection was sweet. The angle that you had to be on a ledge felt kind of in between somewhere of skating an anti-rocker frame and just a normal flat frame. Where anti-rocker, you can really get on top of a ledge and just slide because those middle wheels are so small, and that's what it's good for. With a flat frame, a usual flat frame, you got to definitely be more on the edge and not be right on top, or else you're going to get a lot of wheel bite. But with this frame, you're somewhere in between of that balance point on a ledge. Like I said before, it reminds me of this frame. This is the Kaiser. Why? Now, the thing is with this frame is, if you look at this angle here, it's not tapered at all. At all. So it's quite a sharp corner compared to, say, the Balance 2 frame, where it tapers. Right? Now, because of that being on the angle that it is, this frame wall is actually a lot wider than you think it would be. And that's where it reminds me of the Kaiser frame, right? Because of how wide it is, the angle, when you've got it on your skates, you gotta bone over more, you know? Because this angle here pushes it out a bit more. So I found I really had to readjust my positioning. I had to get lower to get boot down. Yeah, there was actually about 10 minutes worth of footage right at the start where I was slamming a bit and kind of all over the show, but the camera fucked out basically and just didn't save those clips, which is a shame because there was some pretty good slams in there. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Bit of both. Bad because of having to readjust your positioning. You really got to get used to it, so it's a bit odd at first. And since this groove is like those old freestyle kind of frames and not your typical kind of rounded, you kind of lock on and then you kind of don't, you know. If you're on something nice, then you're sweet. But I found myself kind of wiggling around there at times, and then sometimes I didn't. So it's kind of in between. So that's the bad thing. But the good thing is, because of how butty, man, how thick these frames are, there's going to be a lot of longevity. Now, in my opinion, this frame is made to be broken in. Once you make your own groove in there, they're going to be mint. They're going to be sweet. As opposed to this, or these frames, they're good to go straight out of the box. You know, they feel good. And whereas if you keep wearing these out, well, especially these ones, wear them out a lot to like that old school typical deep groove, you're gonna get wheel bite. It's not gonna be as good, and you're gonna have to buy new frames. Yeah, those frames, especially this one, I love right out of the box. I'm like, that groove is perfect. As for these, the new Everything Company frame, I like the wheel bite protection, that was good, but then this groove, not my favorite. So my suggestion is to really groove these in first. Really groove them in. Go get all old school on it, jump on a curb, you know, bit of concrete. We'll just sit there like when, you know, when we were kids and just like grind it down. Because once you get that groove in, man, yeah, that's gonna be awesome. So get out of the box. These will get better over time.
It won't happen overnight, but it will happen.
So, because of that, my second session, I decided to go to a new spot. Decided to skate a little bit of street, if you can call it. It's kind of street. It's street. It's not at the skate park, so it's street. The spot that at our local WIT, our tertiary schooling place here in New Plymouth, has like this kind of random little courtyard thing, and there's been these concrete kind of ledges there that have been there for years, but they're just chunky, or just the concrete hasn't been poured well. It's quite rough. So I decided to finally get out there, get my rub brick, and smash them out, you know, just rub one out. Sweet. All right, stoked. Here's another one. This is the best one, or the second best out of the rest of them. It's still a bit chunky. Not the greatest pour, but yeah.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
You see these little black things, little plastic things? That's not a part of the frame. They're just extra little bits. These are amazing. Once you've got this frame, hold on to these wicked little things. These are really handy. What they do is they will help push that frame out, especially when you get on your wheels and that. Just kind of push them out so you can just get your wheels in a little bit easier. We've all been there with certain frames and just having a hard time trying to get your wheels in, man, because those frames are so tight. Good and bad. I forgot to mention, now with the other two colored frames that they have, the purple and the black, those frames are actually rocketed. I think it gives you about a 1 mil rocker, maybe just under. It even states on their website it's due to warping of the frames. The cooling process didn't work as well, so they're slightly warped. They still work. Great for all those skaters that love the swivelness of frames. Say like the Justin Thursday frames that came out for the for the 50/50 prime frames. Yeah, so if you're into that kind of thing, go for those. If you're not, go with the coconut milk frame. Why I went with these myself, but I do like the swivel. Personally, if I was gonna ride a swivel frame, I would have gone with the bigger one, the 270mm frame. I skate the 250mm frame just because of the size of the boots I wear. Those are the two sizes, by the way.
Oh, that was... Nah. Fuck. That's it. I'm stopping that one.
That's my thoughts, really. Well, what I've found so far, I'm gonna carry on skating these. I think they're gonna be great once I wear in the groove a bit more. Actually, I'll show you. So after skating the concrete ledge yesterday, started kind of grooving it in a bit. If you look at the difference on both sides. So now that I've taken that edge off, that sharper edge, it's easier to get boot down. I need to get into it a bit more, personally. I need a bit more love in there. But yeah, once that's in there, man, it'll be good. Yeah, so I'm gonna carry on skating these because I'm intrigued. They feel pretty good. I'm like, what is it, glass infused kind of plastic that they've used, which a lot of companies are doing now. So it's just fast and a lot harder material, making it fast, which is sick. So we'll see how they last, and yeah, I guess we'll just see. I'm like, it's always fun to try new things. Oh yeah, and yeah, they come with their own little kind of bolts as well. Just get them all, which is pretty cool. They're custom bolts at the bottom there, pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, that's my first impressions, man, my first thoughts. Quick and easy, nothing too extreme. Do I recommend them? Yes, I do. Especially for those skaters that are a bit older or just come back, or I don't know, they just been skating anti-rocket but want to skate flat, but then want something that's kind of in the middle of the process, I guess. Yeah, because for a lot of people going from anti-rocker straight to a flat frame, a lot of people find it quite hard and don't have a fun time, because then they find out, all right, I actually need to bone over more. I need to be more precise, and it's yeah, it takes time. It's doable. It's doable. But for a lot of people, they just want to get straight in there and not really have to worry about it too much. So I definitely think this frame, or even the Wish frame maybe, is a good kind of like middle ground to help you get to that process. To get to that point, if you really did want to skate a flat frame without wheel bite protection, then yeah, this would be a good frame. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, yeah, cool. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're all doing good, well, and all that jazz. Yeah, me. Stay red. Sure.